Well, most of the drivers of deforestation are not inside the forest. And if we look at them, most of them are related to agricultural activities, either smallholder activities or more large-scale corporative activities. And because that is the case, we have to address agricultural drivers as we look at forest deforestation and degradation. So this is really the connection between the two. Without looking at the drivers outside of the forest, we're not going to be able to stop deforestation. And that is also why we have to expand from pure focus on REDD+ or REDD and move beyond that point to a whole landscape accounting, which is currently addressed as AFLU or REDD++, to address these questions and also make sure that the people who live outside of the forests are participating in the forest regimes as we're trying to protect them. Well, REDD+ is set up as a payment for environmental services for the populations in the forests, and those it's a national system. It's set up so that countries that are deforesting strongly can address the questions and reduce deforestation and degradation rates. Now, the connection between the drivers of deforestation, which lie mostly outside of the forest, and those and forest protection are so closely related that we have to connect and look at both of them together. Now, we could, of course, say we'll just fund through the REDD+ programs. We could just fund the agricultural community, for instance, which is causing deforestation rates, or we could fund the large landholders, ranchers, soybean production, for instance, in Brazil, who are causing deforestation at the expense in order to increase their production of cattle and soybean. And then there is sort of the trade-off between the costs of the forest, the value of the forest, and the value of the products that these people are producing. And at some point, it's a positive balance, and people will start protecting the forests. That's the whole logic behind REDD+ in the end. But if we look at it, we have to think about the fact that there is no clear definition of what forest means. There are so many areas which are not covered by forest, and these are not covered through REDD+, because these definitions really make things very messy and fuzzy. So if we expand to a whole landscape accounting approach, which is what ICRAF is planning to do, which is sort of at the basis of ICRAF's policy-related messages, that is one of the reasons why, next to the fact that we have to address the drivers of deforestation which lie outside of the forest. Whole landscape accounting involves looking at all land uses, not only at forest, but also at agricultural land uses, different land uses, wetlands, peatlands, and it extends over the whole territory of a country. So if we look at all emissions from all land uses, then only then can we address leakage appropriately within a country. Because sometimes you reduce deforestation in an area, and then you create more deforestation or degradation in other areas, which are not accounted for. So in order to avoid this kind of leakage, this is one other reason why we have to look at whole landscape accounting.